We're making sandwiches. I'll bring you over to the counter here and I'll walk you through my process. I'm gonna grab some fresh white bread over here from my bread basket. And now for our next item, we're going to need a plate to put all our materials on. We have this. This plate is unbelievable. It's blue, and it is an excellent piece of pottery in China, except for these two chips here. I am unaware how those got there. So we're going to grab 2 slices. No heels of the bread. I only have the heels together when I'm making the sandwich. So these will do for now. And while we grab the rest of our materials, I'm going to heat up the sandwich press, because I cannot stand my sandwiches cold. I'm going to move the kettle out of the way here. Now while the sandwich press warms up, we're going to get our next ingredient, which are the meats. Alright, this here is our turkey breast. Excellent meat for when you're hungry. It has a nice, almost smoky flavor that I enjoy to put on my sandwiches. Because we have one sandwich here, I'm only going to use 1 slice. And I'm going to neatly place it directly over my sandwich. And I'm going to put it back in the fridge and grab our next material. Alright, next we have our Monterey Jack. This is the cheese. If you could not tell by my description of the turkey breast here, I like my food smoked. So, my favorite cheese is smoked Gouda. But unfortunately, I do not have that in my possession right now. So my substitute is called Monterey Jack. It has a nice smoky dairy flavor, but not as much as Gouda. So once I get this package open here, we're going to take 1 slice. We're going to remove the wax paper. And again, neatly place it over our sandwich here. Now this here is the most important part, the prosciutto. This is my favorite kind of meat. It is a wonderful and one of my favorite meats because again, I like them smoked. And if you could not see here, it says smoked prosciutto, which is a special kind of the regular ones. I open it up and I can take either 1 or 2 slices. I'm going to take 2. So it can be a little shreddy, but I have it right here, my 2 slices. I'm going to separate them from each other. Now the halves of it can vary between consistently and quite shredded. So usually I would take them and place them neatly over in halves, but for complete strips like this, I tear them in half and evenly distribute the amount of prosciutto that we have. Now I don't know for sure if this is 100% true, but they say that prosciutto is composed of 2 Latin words. Pro, meaning in interest of, and the sciutto here is derived from the Latin word excurgiere, which means in interest of sucking out moisture. So, all in total, the word prosciutto means in interest of sucking out moisture, which is in reference to its preparing process where you dry out the meat made with salt. Now this is normally when I would go to sit down in my living room and watch my favorite television program. I'll be needing this.
Natural earrings. I'm hilarious.
That's debatable.
Just thinking about all those little grains of bread being firmly pressed and warmed on that plate just gives me the utmost satisfaction. Now we're looking at about 3 to 6 minutes before our delicate creation is finished. So in the meantime, I'm going to tell the story of when I went to my hometown of Stratford, Ontario, to Quebec City, Quebec. The story takes place on what is known as a funiculaire, which is a small cab, maybe around 3 meters cubed, operating upwards of a mountainside, almost like an elevator, but for a staircase. Kind of a mix of the two. This particular one is upside the Chateau Frontenac, and it was taking us up to the esteemed hotel. I was accompanied by one other person, who was my friend Stanley. Now, I'll be able to resume this story once I check on the bread. Now that this bad boy's all fired up, it's going to be mighty hot, so I have to take the proper precautions to remove my sandwich. Firstly, I'm going to unplug the press, so my house does not burn down. But before we remove it, we're going to take a second to admire the pristine grilling that our press has done for us here. Just marvelous. Now this here is our prosciutto. We're going to put it in the microwave for about 14 seconds. It'll dry it out even more from its already pre-dried state. And in fact, while it's inside the active microwave, you can see the steam coming off it. 14 seconds. Now we go back out. Back in time, specifically 2017, around the early spring, or maybe late summer, probably June, is when I was on this funiculaire with Stanley. It was about a 2-minute ride. There was also 2 other people that accompanied me and Stanley there, of course. They looked to be an older couple, maybe 55 or 62, somewhere around that range. They didn't speak until the last third of the ride, but when they did speak, it wasn't in English, or even French like we had expected because we thought they were Quebecois, but instead they decided to speak in some kind of bizarre hand motion, almost like this. We later learned that they were called the CAHDS, C-A-H-D-S, and we realized after I had gotten off that they were trying to communicate, "You're not welcome here, please leave." And when I got off, I realized that Stanley wasn't next to my side, so I looked around right down to the corner of my eye, and there he was, right next to the cods being devoured like a Thanksgiving turkey. I've been trying to find my appetite ever since. Now that we have our fine delicacies prepared, I'm going to get to the main course. Maybe this time it'll be perfect. I guess it's tasty.